डायनसेफेलॉन हमारा जो सेरेब्रम होता है दैट इज द फोरब्रेन is divided into two parts, diencephalon and diencephalon. Diencephalon comprises of cerebral cortex, whereas the diencephalon comprises of deep brain structures. Deep brain structures and from the central core. So now we'll discuss the diencephalon in detail. What is diencephalon? It is the deep brain structures. Diencephalon comprises of four parts: thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus, and the subthalamus. Within the diencephalon, a cavity is present known as the third ventricle, which is a fluid-filled cavity that contains the cerebrospinal fluid. The third ventricle divides the diencephalon into two halves. The third ventricle extends posteriorly up to the cerebral aqueduct that continues into the fourth ventricle. And anteriorly it extends up to the interventricular foramen, that is the opening of the lateral ventricles into the third ventricles. Diencephalon has four surfaces: the inferior surface, lateral surface, medial surface, and a superior surface. The parts of the diencephalon observed on the inferior surface are the optic chiasma, optic tracts, pituitary gland, the infundibulum, mammillary bodies, and the tuber cinereum. On the superior surface, the structure observed are the hippocampus, the two thalamic nuclei, fornix, the stria medullaris, pineal gland, habencular nuclei, the cavity of third ventricle, and the internal capsule. On the lateral surface, you can observe the internal capsule dividing the basal ganglia and the thalamic nuclei. The internal capsule comprises of three parts: anterior limb of the internal capsule, gynua of the internal capsule, and the posterior limb of the internal capsule. On the lateral surface, you can observe the following structure: the hypothalamus and the thalamus, separated by a sulcus known as the hypothalamic sulcus, the interventricular foramen, and the cerebral aqueduct that continues down into the fourth ventricle. This is a summary of the diencephalon. You can observe the thalamus, hypothalamus lying below the thalamus. The hypothalamus narrows down into a funnel-shaped tube, the tuber cinereum. The tuber cinereum narrows and forms the infundibulum and the pituitary gland. The subthalamus, the habencular nuclei, and the pineal body. The habencular nuclei and the pineal body collectively form the epithalamus and the fornix that extends. The fornix connects the hippocampus to the mammillary bodies of the hypothalamus.